Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Daggerheart, the Broken Spine. Good to see you all. Good to see you, players and GM, and see everybody in chat. Thanks for joining us. You know what? I'm going to start off. I'm Jeremy. I rarely ever start off introducing myself, so you can find me on the socials that I'm about to put into chat, but it's WH Pubs on all of the socials. You can also head over to YouTube and follow us to help us get to our 500 follower mark, which would be fantastic. I'm playing Knots, the I don't have descriptors for Knots in mind tonight. The Goblin, Knots the Goblin, and her faithful companion Kavoon, the Crag Cat. I'm going to pass it off to Lauren.
Ooh. It's fun watching someone else's brain buffer in real time because I feel like usually it's just me. Yeah, I'm Lauren. I'm playing our Guardian Seraph giant, Triss. Yeah, I wasn't here the last half of the last session, and I'm gonna do it again because I have to get up at 4 a.m. to go to Joshua Tree for a photo shoot. It's gonna be great.
Hooray! Thanks for joining us while you can.
I'll pass it off to Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I am playing Nyx, and I have nothing else interesting to say other than I'm glad it's Friday. We'll pass it to Carly.
Ooh, me. Hi. I'm the GM. I terrify and please, I hope, my players and you. We'll see. Who knows? They are currently entering some ice tunnels on a glacier. That's not a recipe for disaster. Yeah, well, not
Should
at
be
all.
good. Yeah.
Be fine.
This is be fine.
Nothing bad ever happened in tunnels underneath a glacier.
Right.
Oh no.
I say,
Yeah,
having
where there's-
grown up in a mountain
where there's-
town and heard horror stories.
Yeah, well, not only in tunnels in a glacier, but in a completely barren and unpopulated piece of land within the Broken Spine. There's absolutely no dangers up here.
Not at all.
Everything's
None.
fine. It's all
Right.
fine.
I also make dice, and I'm currently doing a holiday sale, so you could go enjoy that if you want to get some dice. And pop it over to Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason. I am not buffering currently. I am trying not to buffer anyway. This is my non-buffering mode. Tonight, I will be playing Astoy, our fungal warrior druid, who likes to mess with knots.
Hooray, fun girls. No, wait. Fun grills. I was typing it earlier and I had to reread it a couple times before I hit enter because I'm like, is that right? Yes.
Oh my god.
Is it a fun grill or a fun girl?
Exactly. Same letters. Just swapped around.
Mm-hmm.
Whole different interpretation.
And with that,
Well, yes.
Pathfinder.
I mean, your group of you is currently has currently slid into the glacier and are currently in a little ice tunnel with just a bare amount of ambient light in here from the slowly disappearing ambient light above. So you still can see a little bit in these tunnels. Yeah, and the part that you guys slid down into, which is just barely big enough for Triss to stand up in currently. They're a little hunched, a little bad posture.
Yeah, I was gonna
But they
ask,
still-
is Triss scooting along on her butt or something?
Not currently. You did manage.
it is icy.
Grace rolled really well, so she managed to find a spot that was at the moment
Good.
big
good.
enough for Triss. But yeah, you guys have just slid down underneath and into this this glacier. You guys, from the like slide down, feel that you guys are probably at the moment 15 feet, about a tris underground.
I like that for a measurement.
About a tris underground currently. But there's still a little bit of light down here, and I mean it's cold down here, but not any colder than it was up there.
And no
Hey,
wind.
nuts.
Yeah.
Can I borrow that charcoal you have?
Do you mean my writing charcoal?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I want to leave a mark here in case we have to come back and know where we came down.
I guess so.
I'll just like leave an X there
Oh,
on the.
you didn't need to use that much. Just next time, much smaller X. Just like smaller font. Doesn't need to be quite that big.
I wanted to be able to see it though.
Ah, you're so needy.
Yay, we're underground again.
Yep.
Oh, I wonder if there's cleaners here. What if it cleans the X off and you just wasted my charcoal?
Triss like pulls her head down to get her antler out from the ice and is like, worst case scenario, we can follow this trail that I'm leaving.
Oh, would you, I could wrap, like, your tips in, like, some cloth to make it less jagged?
Maybe it's not going to solve the issue of me
Wrap
hitting
it up,
but-
Tris. Wrap it up. Safety first.
I was trying so hard not to make a joke.
I'm like pulling out from my bag like used socks and stuff.
No. Triss is like,
By the way, Nix, nice job leading across that glacier. I was surprised at some of the paths you took, and it looked like you did quite well avoiding any issues there. I wasn't totally expecting it to be so safe.
Nyx looks very uncomfortable and it says thank you.
oh.
And kind of like shuffles off.
Lester, did you have, like, a family practice of, like, once a day you all had to compliment each other as well?
No, I just
Oh.
thought he did a good job. I was
Oh.
surprised. I thought he was just a city guy.
But my mom does that, where you have to, like, think of a good thing that somebody did that day. Next, can you think of anything good that anyone did today?
Yeah, I think everyone did a really good job following me.
Thanks.
You'd be surprised how hard that can be for this group.
True.
We almost split the party right at the end there, didn't we?
We tried. By the way,
It's like
Okay.
a terrible idea.
No. Go ahead.
checking this out, like, is this like smooth, or is this like it seemed like it's like melted water that's made this tunnel, or
Sure. Give me a. I will say, give me a knowledge roll.
Is this like
You
just visually?
are
Is this like
attempting
the?
to analyze the ice tunnel that you're in.
would my mountain survival help with this?
Not in this case. If it was stone, yes,
Okay.
but not for the ice.
Okay, only 11 with hope.
You could take that hope. Looking over it, it's you're not sure.
Okay.
You're not experienced or knowledgeable enough about ice tunnels and structures.
Sure.
You haven't really heard of many like that are on a glacier that would be this big, but it's also not something that you've spent an extensive amount of time looking into. You've heard of tunnels this big, but usually they're ice tunnels that like go into a mountain and not are inside a glacier. So you're not quite sure what the situation is. But it is ice. It doesn't seem to be any like unnatural element. It does seem to be made of ice, and it is a very clear quality, which is why you're still getting some ambient light from outside. Like you can see the light coming in from like over the top, and it's just kind of reflecting through this very clear quality ice that you are in.
Pretty cool looking, at least.
It's beautiful. Hopefully it doesn't kill us, but
Yeah. Well, should we follow it and try to find some place to rest?
sounds like a good idea.
Was our plan to go through this, or are we just kind of coming down in here to stay out of the wind and chill?
Well, the storm was coming in, and you believed it was going
Right.
to come in during the night. So you guys were looking out for places that you could come into that could either continue you forward if you're that lucky through the glacier, or is just a good place to not get as troubled by the storm. Because even with the good pace that you made, you would have ended up spending the night on the glacier, and with the storm coming in, you did not feel comfortable being up top. But if you guys want to continue moving forward in the general direction across the glacier, I'm going to need you guys to pick someone to lead the group. Thus far, there's only really the singular large tunnel, but I will need one person to lead the group going forward.
Will.
Thanks. You were doing a good job.
Yeah. Having fun doing this. For now.
Sure, give me an instinct roll.
I got 19 with hope.
Nice.
Nice.
You can take that hope. You start leading the group through, and there are points where the tunnel like squeezes in smaller, points where Triss does have to almost like get on her knees and shuffle through, but never too small that never small enough that it feels like you're spelunking. At least not yet. But points where you do have to, like, the ceiling's just a little too short for you, Triss. But after a little bit, there were a couple, like, smaller ice, like, tubes that peeled off, but nothing that would be big enough for Triss to even think about attempting to spelunk through, much less walk through. But you do get to a point after a little bit when the sun is almost completely fallen, and you only have like the barest amount of ambient light around you right now, that you come to a split in the tunnel. One continues further like up north, and then another one splits down and goes a little like south, more south direction.
They both relatively going with the same elevation, or is one like going up and one is going down?
With the roll that you had, you believe that the northern direction is the one that will keep you closest on the same directional area that way that you want to go. However, when you get to the split and you peer down the southern direction, it looks like it after about like 10 feet, it starts to widen up a little bit, so it might, just from what you can see, which isn't like a whole bunch right now, it starts to widen a little bit, which means it might be open up into a wider area for you to rest in or something. But the northern tunnel seems to be the one that is in the direction that you want to go.
The temperature and light getting lower. Do you all want to scout out what could be that cavern or a larger cavern space that we could use to rest, or do we want to continue on through the night?
I mean, I can't see in the dark, and I don't really know if I feel good about having a torch going in the ice around us.
I mean, we have Grace can make lights if we need, but I wouldn't be opposed to possibly finding somewhere that I can stand up.
That's probably a good idea.
And someone getting
Okay.
injured in the dark on the ice seems like a pretty risky.
Yeah, that sounds good. Nyx will sneak ahead. Just give me a second. I'll sneak ahead to see if he, and then kind of get a better sense of the.
Sure,
larger
give me a finesse check.
This one is not good. This one is a 9 with fear.
Yeah, so you can see that Nick seems to go into like, I'm gonna walk quiet like stance. You know, everybody kind of like, everybody shifts their stance when they want to start stepping more carefully, but you still hear his footsteps like echoing off of the ice as he curls out of your sight. Nyx, with the very low ambient light, you curl out and you do see that the tunnel widens out into a slightly larger chamber. There's probably just enough room for Triss to stand up comfortably, but just barely. Like, her antlers would still probably scrape the ceiling if she put on really, really good posture. But it does open up, and as you step into the space, I mean, the ice in the surrounding area feels a little different. And it's hard to tell because of the low ambient light, but as you step into this chamber, it feels a little more crystallized. You think in the back of your mind that if it was daylight, you'd be getting some sort of like crazy prismatic effect in this chamber from the light reflecting down through all of the like crystallized ice that seems to make up this chamber. As you step further in, you notice that the tunnel doesn't seem to like continue on the same elevation. You notice that towards the southern end of the chamber, there is a part that is like dark when you first step in. You can't tell what it is, but as you walk closer, you can see that the tube, the tunnel that you're in, goes down and starts going down at not like a full just like straight down shaft, but like a fairly steep downward tunnel where someone could definitely accidentally trip into this tunnel and then just it's a water slide to who knows where, an ice slide to who knows where.
What if we take the ice slide on purpose?
I mean, it's an option. It is a fairly, I mean, it is a big, it's a big, still a big tunnel, just like the ones you've been traveling through. So you would all be able to fit and slide down it if you wanted to. It's about a 10 to 15 foot diameter, like tunnel. but and that's just like at the southern end of the chamber.
Gotcha.
I will kind of return to the group and say it looks like a pretty good place to rest. There is should be enough room for just you to stand somewhat comfortably, and there is a downward slide chute exit, but with how steep it is, it's probably fairly safe to treat as only one entrance to guard and worry about. It'd be very, I think, difficult to scale it quietly.
Good
The
to
other
know.
one.
I mean, there's nothing living around here anyway, so we should be okay.
That is my
No,
question. I want to see if I can kind of, during this, can I have rolled some tracking just to see if there's any signs of creatures, even the passage of
Sure.
people?
Yeah, you can give me an instinct roll, or for your case, if you're using your specific ability, you can
I will use my specific ability. And I'll even spend a hoe.
Nice.
Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo.
15, 18, 21 with hope. Wait, what's wrong? What's going on?
You can take that hope. I hope you enjoy it.
Right. It's going to come back and bite me later.
It will come back and bite you. Don't you worry. No, as you guys are passing through the tunnels, it's weird. For the most part, what you've been traveling through feels very like formed naturally, and it is like ice, so there's not like there's a whole bunch of like footprints or like dust or dirt, or, like it's ice. However, there are points where like some of the tubes and stuff lead up to the surface, and so some snow has like gathered into the tunnels. There's no true signs of like humanoid passage at all through these tunnels. But a couple of the tunnels that you've seen so far, they don't feel like it was just the way the water fell and froze and like a natural nature formation. Some of them definitely look like they could have been burrowed
Okay.
out.
Do the others that don't seem natural, do they seem like they could have been formed with magic, or?
No, it definitely gives it's not like completely smooth like a magic like would be, like a
Gotcha.
perfect sphere. It definitely feels more like a creature or something might have burrowed these
Okay.
holes and these tunnels.
There's an alarm going off. We've done something right. No, I mean wrong. When Nyx gets back,
So, I've been noticing these different, tunnels that maybe are, totally natural, and we should just always watch out for things that might want to eat us in our sleep or whatever, if we take a rest.
You think something made these tunnels? Or are in them?
It's possible. Yeah, I kind of think that.
yeah, I don't think anything should be taken at face value based upon what we now know about the world. Not you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's like, did you know that we're walking through the corpse of a creature? Okay, not right
No
now,
way.
but we were earlier. You don't remember it, but we did.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about that. No.
It's alright, I wrote it all down.
Yeah.
I mean, past the potential godlike corpse that we are making our way through, no place is completely devoid of life, so if we are taking shelter here, I wouldn't be surprised if there are other things doing the same.
Of course. If we do see something here, let's try not to kill it. Subdue it if we have to.
I think that'll come down to if it attacks us first, but...
Well, I'm assuming anything that lives here is going to take an opportunity of food anytime it can due to the scarcity. I'm just saying it. Say again.
A safe assumption.
Yeah, so if we have to fight it, try to subdue it if we can. Something that lives here must be pretty unique, and I wouldn't want to kill. I mean, I can't imagine there's a lot of them.
Fair enough.
But there might be a whole bunch of them. We just hadn't seen them if they were inside the ice, but if they came out of the ice and we happened to kill one on accident or in the self-defense, then we should absolutely probably, make use of its body and eat it just to make sure.
Agreed, but
Circle of life.
again, if we don't have to kill it, let's not.
I can abide by that.
All right, Lauren, your next art that you need to do for the show is Kavoon holding up knots like Rafiki holding up Simba.
Oh no!
Just by like the collar.
Or it could be Triss holding up knots.
That's fair. That's fair.
That'd be pretty funny.
So do you guys go into the crystalline ice chamber to settle down for a rest?
Yeah.
Seems like a good plan.
Alrighty. Yeah, so you guys can settle down for a rest. Tell me what you guys are doing.
I'm going to start a project called Re-Educating Astoy.
Oh no!
And what is the goal of this project?
To not necessarily make him remember, because obviously that's not going to happen, but to re-explain the information that we had. However, it's going to be a fairly lengthy process because all of the notes that I did take are also interspersed with that within my Centaurs or Castles and Centaurs game, because I don't have a notebook. What is that?
Oh.
And so I just have papers all jumbled together.
Are you sure your re-education isn't just putting a story through what you guys went through, but playing Castles and Centaurs?
I am not saying that.
Not saying that, you mean?
Yeah. Knots is not saying that.
Alrighty. Fair enough. What else are you doing?
I will
Also
probably
start a project that's related before you finish what you're doing. That's I'm gonna call slightly adjusting the re-education of Astoy. It's going to be pretty innocuous and not really terribly incorrect and misinformation, but here and there I'll just adjust reality a little bit. So he's going to be certain that the rock monsters were pink and purple and smelled like candy or something like that. Just those sorts of details that are just slightly wrong, but work at really making him convincing.
Yeah, so don't tell me what small details you're changing. Tell Jason. You can message him personally and tell him what little details so that I can be surprised when Astoy mentions things that are just not true.
So I do have to ask, are you readjusting these facts while Knots is there or after the fact?
So as Knots is saying, I'll be like, no, that's not how it actually went down. Knots. I think that you might have missed a page from your notes, and then kind of like that's where I'll do a little bit of embellishing myself.
Oh, they were painting. I didn't even ask that. I was rather held by that one. I was really super up close, and so I probably didn't really notice all of its colors. They were painted purple. Good to know.
I think also related to this, a new project for Triss is that she is actually writing down the accurate take of everything that happened. However, she is not interfering with what's going on over here. She's writing this down like as sort of like a recording to take back to like her home. And like if a story asks or like calls like that sounds like bullshit, she'll be like, yeah, it was actually this. But she is letting this happen.
The actual almanac of our journey. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, a recording for historical purposes for her community.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Start another project.
Yeah.
I would like to. Can you do 2 projects at once for one rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do. You
Okay.
can choose any option twice, so you can absolutely have 2 projects or spend like double the amount of time on the same project.
I'm just gonna make sure that when Chris is working on her project, that I'm raising the volume of my speech just so that maybe it'll get into her brain and she'll accidentally write the wrong thing down. That's all.
Oh no.
Okay. I love the chaos. Nuts. You're working on your project. Is there anything else you're doing on your long rest?
I believe I'm going to prepare. Trying to think of what preparing is going to look like. I am going to pull out some ingredients that I haven't used before and make up some like skillet biscuits that are like sweet and just a little bit of like dried chunky bacon that's on top, so it's sweet and savory. And I'm gonna dole those out to anyone else who is preparing so that we can double our hope.
Nice.
Great. I will say, well, Grace isn't needing help. Grace is going to de-stress and have an idea of a project for her. I guess she could start on. I don't know. She's not here.
She can de-stress by eating the sweet savory rolls.
There you go.
Yes, she will absolutely eat your sweet savory rolls. All right. Yeah. So, and Triss, are you you're doing the almanac, the true recording.
Yes.
What else are you doing?
I was debating trying to shoot for that last thing
Last bit
for,
on your
for
weapon?
my weapon project. Part of me is like maybe both things should go towards the almanac so she actually gets it correct, since there are people actively trying to get her to write the wrong thing.
Well, look, this is just one downtime.
Mhm.
Like, one person putting, like, you've put in the effort for the true recording, they've put in one kind of effort for the non-true recording. So thus
Fair
far
enough.
you're even. It's really
Okay.
it's really a long game situation.
Oh god. I guess then, we'll just do the one project for that, and then another project to try and get that last little bit of the
Yeah. You won't even have to roll for it because
Ooh.
it's almost there. You're just there. You just gotta put the finishing touches on it.
Mhm.
So you absolutely now have the parrying ability on your
Nice.
halberd.
Let's go. And just to make sure, that's in addition to the scary aspect that I have of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you've
Sick.
added the parry ability to it,
Awesome.
Nice.
which means that on an attack against you, you can roll the weapon's damage dice, which for you right now is 3d8. And if any of those numbers match the damage that I rolled, then those damages are removed.
Sick. Okay, I've added that to the notes on my equipment. Sweet. Okay. Yay, that's fun.
Alrighty. So do you guys set up watches, or do you all just go to sleep? What's your plan?
Definitely set up watches.
Yeah.
Tris can take
I'm
the
also-
first watch. With that. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I'm also going to repair armor and my health.
Great.
For mine. I'm kind of disinterested in the game, so I'm like working on the armor while Knots is trying to teach me this game. Not paying a lot of attention.
I like how we have devoted a lot of projects to someone that doesn't care.
Yeah. It's great.
Only because they forgot.
Oh boy.
Maybe
Yeah.
one day you'll figure out how to make him remember.
Story isn't very interested in being underground anyway, if you remember correctly.
This is true. This is true.
But he actually, you really did enjoy being underground,
I don't think so.
if you remember correctly.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Tris has first watch. Got 3 other watches to set up.
Cool.
Second for Nyx.
I'll take third.
I'll take last.
Great. Grace is just gonna sleep the whole time.
How cold is it in here? Do we need to worry? It seemed like we need to worry about people getting frostbite in the tunnels as well.
No. While you guys have been like regathering and telling tales and repairing armor and fixing up your weapons and stuff, you have heard like that sound of like that din of storm overhead. Can't see anything different as it is like full dark now. But do you hear that overhead? But actually it seems like the tunnels themselves are acting as a little bit of a buffer, at least where you are currently. You haven't felt an infusion of cold since the sun has set.
Cool.
Nice.
So questions for your little camp that you set up. How are you guys setting it up? Is it just you and blankets? Are you trying to pull fire out? Like how are you setting up your little camp for the night?
I would assume just blankets, trying to build fire on an ice. Probably
Did we
not.
even have wood to build a fire?
Not that I recall. We
Yeah.
haven't been able to find anything in a while. I was going to try to fly down the mountain
I
tomorrow.
think it's probably like everyone has their like blankets and furs and are huddled for warmth.
All righty. Well, with that note, Triss, give me an instinct roll for your watch.
Okay.
Knots 100 bakes the rolls, 100% bakes the rolls with their fireflies. You just like
That's cocked. Hold on.
hang out at the base of the fan.
Okay.
Amazing. I can tell already.
Sounds so good.
Right?
That grimace.
That's a solid 5.
Yeah.
With
With hope.
so you can take a hope.
I'm full up on hope.
Oh, poor baby. Your hope is going unused. It's so terrible. It makes me want to cry. Anyways, yeah, you spend most of the watch like peering in the darkness and kind of kicking yourself for not asking someone to provide you some light. So you were just like sitting here with like a bunch of bodies curled up next to you, trying to stay awake while just peering into like darkness.
Yeah, she's sitting there, she's like, mistakes have been made. Oh well.
And it's a struggle to get through. There's a few times during the night when you swear you hear the sound of something moving, and
Fun.
then it's just then you look out. Well, you feel one of your companions like shift in their sleep, and you're like, "No, I didn't hear anything."
It's just she keeps hearing Knots talking in her sleep, and he's being like, "What was that? What was that? Oh, it's okay."
So it is not a good watch for you at all, and it ends up infecting your dreams a little bit. So you do wake up. Next time you wake up with stress.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can pass the watch along unharmed.
Figure out which one Nyx is in the dark and like shake him awake.
It was probably like Nyx's like furs, like for some reason have the sound of a sleeping bag when you move in them, so it's just like
Oh god, is sleeping bag against ice?
Nyx will kind of wake up groggily.
It's dark. There's no light. For a second, you're not sure if you opened your eyes or not.
Well, this will be boring.
Yep. Have fun.
You can give me an instinct roll.
This is a 17 with fear.
So, you manage to at least keep a better head on your shoulders than Triss did. You still stay close to the group for that like internal heat that you guys are all radiating to each other. And you just listen. You spend your time in like a half meditation. Like half the time your eyes aren't even open. You're just using your ears. You're just listening to whatever you can hear beyond the small shuffling, talking, sleeping noises of the rest of your group. And at one point, when you first hear it, you think, "Oh, it was just Knots, or it was just a stoy." But then you hear it again, and there's this shh, like something hard, lightly brushing against ice. There's just this little like crackle, this soft crackle. And you hear it a couple more times, a little louder. And it seems to be coming from the tunnel, the slide, the down tunnel. And it's getting closer.
How fast does it seem to be getting closer?
Give me a knowledge roll. Because you're just using your ears, because you can't see a dang thing.
Critically succeeded.
Critically succeeded. It seems to be approaching at a fairly fast speed. It's hard to tell because it's not a straight line. But it does seem to be moving in your direction, and that the sound that you hear, you get the impression that, I mean, it's going to be here near you, like on collision course with you in a few seconds, like 10, 15 seconds, at the rate of pace that it's going.
A stand, and I'm going to pull from my, like, rummage around in my nomadic pack, which is now probably kind of like fairly spread out, or like, since all the blankets and furs are out, it's probably like fairly empty, and find by touch my small pack of like or small bag of like oh, I'm trying to, like a flash fire sort of thing, like for kindling. Typically would be for like kindling or something, but something that lights real quick and burns real fast, and spark it and throw it down the, like, kind of like past and down the tunnel to see if I like I could get a view of what is going on, and at the same time I'm gonna say, "We aren't alone. Wake up!"
Yeah, you strike the like makeshift flare. It brightens up the room. You don't see anything or anybody in here besides your sleeping companions. You take a few steps to get into a place where you can look and see what is down the tunnel. You toss it down the tunnel, and in the first like 15, 20 feet that you can see, you don't see anything yet. And then the flare just starts sliding down the smooth ice, down the tunnel. And it's this really weird effect because you can almost see it like underneath the crystallized glass ice that you're standing on as it like slides down the tunnel. You could see it like through the layers of glass, of ice. And eventually, as you're shouting them awake, you can see as it seems to pass by these two whitish blue worm-looking figures. The biggest thing that you notice is that they don't have any eyes. There's no eyes, and they seem to have like a icy glass like exterior shell around them, and so that's what you're hearing is just like a hard ice scraping against hard ice as they seem to be moving up the tunnel. And you just get this quick glimpse as the flare slides past them and they're moving up the tunnel.
I'm gonna continue to increase my volume to get people to wake up, and I'm going to, until you tell me I can't be doing something, I'm going to try and light a torch.
Yeah, you can light a torch. Right now, the pace that they're coming up, I mean, you can light a torch, and I would say you can prepare like one other action before they're going to be out of this tunnel.
Yeah, I will.
I think probably the first thing that Triss does when she wakes up is try to get Grace to put some lights out there.
Yeah, easy enough. Grace will make sure that she is towards the back of the group, and she'll put up these little, like, purple, pink, just like little bit of light dusting over the top of this crystallized chamber.
Grace, wake up and one-shot these again.
Yeah, she's not. Maggie's not here.
Maybe she'll roll well. Yeah, so we will. So I'll just prepare to use spirit weapon as soon as they come within close range.
Sure. Knots, what do you do when you wake up?
Well, since there is light as we're getting situated, I assume the rest of us can now see these things.
No. Because of where the light is, you can see Nyx looking down into the tunnel, and
Gotcha.
you see like deeper down, like the smallest hint of a piece of light that's just moving like further away from you, and that's the flare. But you don't see them yet because of the way that the light is like reflecting off of the glass, is making the ice opaque to you in this moment.
I'm going to pull out my jar of fireflies, pop it open, and whisper into it.
Common sense. Rally the troops.
And prepare my fireflies for when I see them.
Sure. What are you doing, Astoy?
We got something coming, you said? And you look around. And see a Nyx looking down the tunnel. How big is the entrance?
The entrance is like a 15-foot diameter. Tunnel.
When I made my web before, was that big enough to cover that?
Yes, but that was like multiple uses that you did last time. You'd know that with one use, you're probably not going to be able to cover the whole entrance.
Okay. Well, at least slow them down if they're coming up here. So I'll spend a stress and turn into a legendary woolly trapdoor spider.
Alrighty, legendary woolly trapdoor spider. You got it.
And I will...
If you're trying to put it over the top of the entrance, give me a spellcast roll, which I think for you is instinct. So.
Okay. So this one uses evasion normally, or sorry, finesse for this. Would I be able to use that?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. $16 with fear.
Okay. Nyx, you're looking into the tunnel, and just as you like catch the barest sight of like the first one, the one that seems to be on the like outside edge of whatever slight curve this tunnel has, and you're getting ready to attack, the web slings over the top of the entrance, partially blocking your view, so you end up having to take like a step to the side to get view again. So what I'm going to say is that you can still throw your attack at them down the tunnel, but it will be at disadvantage for this first attack.
Remind me of disadvantage.
Minus a d6.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Reroll that one. Yeah, I did not do well. I got a 8 with hope.
Oof.
You could take that hope, but unfortunately, you end up taking that step to the side and throwing your weapon, and it cuts right into the ice, like right in front of them. And now you have a good view, since only half the tunnel is blocked, And you can see that there's two of these creatures that are, large creatures. They barely fit side by side in this tunnel. They're about like 5 to 6 foot diameter, like across. You can't quite tell how long they are yet, but you could tell that they have this. If you've ever seen like the badger moles from they have that like feature on like the front of their face where it's just like the nose with like the little like sensors that come off of it, and they're like twitching, and they seem to like lock onto you and start moving up out of the tunnel. So what happens is they run into one of them runs into the barrier, the web that was put up. So I'm going to make a roll for them to see if they can pass through. The other one gets through and is launching themselves at Nyx, which will activate the other two people that were holding abilities. You will get to do that before they attack Nyx. The other one will get through, but it did stop them for this initial attack, but they will get through like right afterwards.
Okay.
So Knots and Triss, were you holding something, Triss?
I think just if something got into range, was gonna hit it.
She's holding a cat.
Sure.
I am also holding a cat. Oh, she didn't like that. Okay, good.
You are holding a cat.
No longer. She decided to be done.
Done
Alright,
now, mother.
so-
Done.
I can roll.
Yeah, you guys can both roll your attacks right now
Let's go.
because they were held actions, so they will go before my attack.
Okay, let's see. That is. I'm gonna spend a hope to add precision strike to this.
Sure.
Which brings it up to 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Sick. Ooh, that's not a bad damage roll. Let's go. 12, 17. That is 21 points of physical damage. And then I am also going to enter Unstoppable.
Sure. 21 points of physical damage. Great.
Which I called Unstoppable after I did damage, so I don't
Yes,
add
you will-
anything yet anyway.
Yeah, so you won't get the extra damage or whatever, but I will say that as you reach up and strike, since you are within very close of this creature, you can feel the creature is emanating this like freezing cold aura from around them.
Uh-oh.
You become chilled within this area, so you will have disadvantage on attack rolls. Or until your next short rest, or until you clear a stress.
Oh, okay, yikes.
As you step up to strike, you step into this just waves of freezing horror that just gets into your bones.
Cool.
So keep a note of that. Not.
His teeth are just chattering.
So
And you said 21, correct? I just want to verify that you said 21 points of damage.
that Triss.
You said
Yeah.
21?
21
Okay.
points.
Alrighty. Knots.
So how many are close?
Currently, you can only see the one that is launching at Nyx. The other one got momentarily stopped by the webbing that was over
Perfect.
half of the entrance.
Okay. So when the one appears, the two little fireflies, Common and Sense, make a beeline for more like a firefly line, not a beeline, towards the one that you can see, and the rest of the fireflies pour out after it. I spend a hope. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will hit.
All right, 2d8 fire damage. Plus 3, 15, 18 fire damage. But just to the
Nice.
one.
Nice.
18 fire damage. Okay.
18 fire damage.
With
Oh,
that,
That was with hope,
Sorry.
anyway.
Okay, yeah, you can take the hope. With that, the creature continues its launch at Nyx and barrels down on them. Does a 10 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so they just barrel down onto you and just slam into you for 12 points of physical damage.
Is he close to me?
Yeah, you guys are right next to each other because you stepped up to slice the worm.
I'll spend a stress to do I am your shield, because I haven't gotten to do that in a while.
Because they've been attacking you.
I know.
You're a big target.
Everything's been attacking me, and only me.
Well, isn't that what I am your shield does?
That is the
anyways.
part. Yes. But I get to choose to do it. It's more exciting that way. Anyway. Yeah, so I spend the stress. So I take the damage instead. It's reduced by... Immediately it was reduced by 3.
Mm-hmm.
So how much damage was it? Sorry.
It was 12.
So that brings it down to 9. And then because I'm an unstoppable, Stalwart immediately reduces damage by my armor threshold, which is currently 10 thanks to Stalwart, so it's just nothing.
Yeah.
Math.
Math. It works. Yes. And so, with that one tackles into Nyx, and the other one bursts out from the webbing. And so now they're both and you can see now that they are about 20 feet long. So their tails are still flowing down into the tunnel while the top halves have poured over, and they are worms. They don't have any other limbs. It is just a solid line of, and it's really weird with the lights in here and the crystallized glass around you and their crystalline carapace that seems to be around them. It's just this weird reflective dance of light going on around all of you currently. But it is back to you guys.
Nice.
Cool. I mean, unless anyone else is
Yeah.
wanting to go, I'm just gonna hit things.
Yeah, I just want to get away from the one that's hitting me. I'm gonna try and backpedal and then attack.
Yeah, there's enough room for you to get about 20 feet back. That would get you to the back of the chamber. Any further, you're going back down the tunnel and don't have much.
Yeah, I'll
sight
just
on what's
go
happening.
back down the tunnel, out on top of the glacier. No, yeah, about 20 feet away is great, and then I'll use the spirit weapon again.
Sure, roll me an
And-
attack, and Lauren, you can roll me an attack too. If you guys are both attacking right now.
Let's go.
Which ones are you targeting? The one on the right is the one that you guys have already hit that attacked Nyx, and then there's one on the left that burst out just afterwards.
I'll attack the one that just attacked Nyx, but am I able to maneuver myself so that I would be close enough to both worms to potentially use Whirlwind?
Yeah, I mean, they're right next to each other right now. They burst
Sick.
out of the
Okay.
same tunnel.
So, yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I'll attack the one that just attacked Nyx that I took the blow.
Sure.
And I'll attack the other one that hasn't been attacked yet. I'm trying to kind of draw its attention in a way and like make it run around instead of just like turn immediately.
Okay.
Oh right, this is rolled with disadvantage.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are rolling currently with disadvantage.
Well, I've rolled kind of crap anyway. So that is a solid. Let's see, 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 1 is 7.
With?
7 with fear.
Okay, unfortunately that does miss. So right now you just pushed yourself in front of Nyx to take that attack, and you have your halberd like jabbed up to the up to their nose, and currently can't seem to find a way to get that back without like it falling on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are just struggling to make any headway at this moment.
Cool.
Nyx.
I rolled a 20 with hope.
Okay, you can take that hope, and that hits.
I will use a stress to have it target an additional target. So it's gonna do
Swing into both of
the
them.
ricochet. Yeah, ricochet. Rickety. All right.
Rickety.
Wiggity whack. And then
What?
I'm trying to remember my. Okay, I roll an extra d10 and drop the lowest.
Correct, for powerful.
Yes.
So you'll roll 4d10 and then drop the lowest of the numbers.
Okay, that's awesome. I will deal 22 points of damage.
Nice.
Both of them.
Great. Yeah, your swinging blade fully does like a full boomerang slice through like both of them before returning back to your hand. Unfortunately, Lauren rolled with fear, so it is back to me. The left one, as it burst out and like just as it got sliced by Nyx, it releases this like cold white cloud, like comes out from like it shakes its scales, and like from underneath its scales this cold white cloud just like suffuses the area. So I'm going to need an agility reaction roll from everyone. I will do it for Grace.
I have the cat here. Does that mean I get advantage? There we go. Finally, Jesus.
So the DC is 14. So let me know if you just got higher or lower than that.
Does Triss get advantage for using the magic word?
No, she does not.
I got 20, so I'm chilling.
Okay.
I failed.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Nyx.
I got higher than 14.
Great.
Good.
And Jeremy.
$23.
Okay. So if you succeeded, you can either mark 2 stress or take 20 points of magic damage. If you failed, you just take 20 points of magic damage.
Oh. Okay. Definitely gonna take 2 stress.
So it is your choice.
Wait, if you succeeded...
Grace, if you succeeded, you get to choose between
Okay.
2 stress or 20 points of magic damage. If you failed, you take 20 points of magic damage.
What was the threshold?
14.
Thanks.
It was 14. Yeah, you succeeded by a lot. Although you do need to roll for Kavoon as well.
Oh, thanks.
And I rolled for Grace, and she failed.
Oh, no.
Failed.
She's just going to mark the 2 hit points. The second one, that is not looking good, has a bunch of cuts up it from the attacks that were burst on it when it first came out, and that strike that Nyx just dealt, turns its nose across the group, and it feels the halberd still bracing on it, and so it just presses down onto Triss.
Ow.
With its body.
I found this on the web.
Thanks,
No,
Siri.
It found the web.
Right.
Not.
That's what it said. As it was all like, "Hey, I found this in your web."
That's going to be a 12 to hit.
Yes.
And that's going to be 10 points of physical damage.
Okay. That's because it's immediately halved by Guardian and also reduced by Stalwart, so it's nothing.
Well,
Shrug
yes,
it
it's
off.
reduced by Stalwart first and then halved,
Okay.
because having first in general, especially for bigger abilities, is
Yeah. Well, my
too much.
in Unstoppable, my current armor score is 10, so that
Yeah.
just gets
Yep.
rid of it entirely. So, aha!
As it presses down on you, I do have to note, Nyx, did you use any armor when it first hit you that first time?
No, because
She blocked.
Okay,
she blocked.
right, because she blocked it. Okay, then, it will try again to press down on
Cool,
you,
cool.
because it has Relentless, so it can act multiple times. That will hit.
Yep. It's not
And
hard
that-
to hit me.
Yeah, that will be 15 points of physical damage.
Okay, so reduced to
5.
5, which is then halved to, what, 3?
Yep, it's always round up, so 3.
That's... Oh, wait! I can use parry.
You can try.
I will, because I haven't used it. And it's fun. Okay. Were any of those the damage rolls a 2, 4, or 8?
No, they were not. I rolled a
Damn.
6.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just mark an armor slot to take the 3 points.
So the previous one, because you didn't mark an armor slot, you will have to take a stress from just it sitting on you. It has an ability, a crush ability, where if you don't mark an armor to reduce damage, you take a stress.
Damn.
So you will take a stress from that first strike, and then it gets to go 3 times.
Oh no. Oh boy.
So we'll try again.
Carly's like, you have to leave
And that will
early?
hit.
Fuck you.
That's okay. That was only 10 points of damage.
Okay, so then it just automatically does. No, but then I
Does a
take the stress.
Then you take a stress. I mean, you could still mark an armor slot if you want instead of a stress. It's
So
your
it
choice.
just automatically, there isn't anything for me to mark. At 10, it immediately.
I know. I'm telling you, based on the wording of its ability, you could mark an armor slot or take a stress.
I will mark an armor slot then.
Based on the way that it is worded.
Okay, I thought it was just you automatically take a stress, and I was really like, oh shit. Okay. Cool. Good to know.
And that will bring it back to you guys.
I'll jump in, I guess. I will move over next to Triss. I'll skittle over. Do we take the disadvantage after we hit it or before we hit it?
Once you've hit it within very close range.
Okay. I will try to bite the injured one then.
Go for it.
15, 17, 20, unfortunately with fear.
Hits.
Okay. He will be poisoned and take 26 points of damage.
Okay. 1 second. Does poison do anything specific? I don't
Yeah,
think it
whenever
does
he
anything.
takes an action, he takes a d10 plus 5.
Envenomated. Okay, I was like, I don't think poison is a specific thing. Envenomated is the word.
Yeah,
I was like,
sorry.
I don't think poison does an effect in Daggerheart. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm going crazy.
Venomous bite, yeah. When I hit with a melee, it becomes temporarily envenomated. The invaded creature takes d10 physical damage, which I add 5 to because it's physical each time they act.
Alrighty. Well, it doesn't matter as your spider form chomps onto this poor worm.
Okay.
What does it look like as this spider destroys the poor worm that has come out of the hole?
He bites into it and injects his venom, and like the creature like twitches as the venom gets into his nervous system. You know, the creature's super active right now. Its blood's flowing, and it just kind of twitches and drops.
Yeah, as it twitches, the other one senses that and releases another bit of that frost out, almost obscuring your vision of what is happening, but I will need an agility reaction roll from all of you.
Okay.
Ah, boy.
Hey,
Okay.
I actually got a 14 exactly that time.
Yep,
Nice.
14.
21 from Knots.
I feared I tried to.
Wait, that's actually exactly 14 for me too. Let's go.
Great. Grace
17.
also rolled exactly 14.
Oh my god.
So it will be for everyone your choice of 2 stress or 18 points of magic damage.
I'll
take 2 stress.
I'm gonna take the damage actually,
damage.
and mark an armor slot and a hit point.
And just remember, if you take the damage and do not mark armor, you take a stress. Grace will take the stress.
And Nix, you have an advantage from chat.
And once the cold fog dissipates, because it kind of rolls out and then dissipates, you can see that the body of the one that the spider just bit into seems to have disappeared. You get the idea that the other worm who has now positioned themselves just at the mouth of the tunnel has pulled the body of the other worm down the tunnel.
Oh boy.
But it's back to you guys.
I'm sending common sense after them. Spending a hope. Ooh. Oh. Okay. Hang on.
You want a prayer die?
Probably. Hang on. So that is 13 with fear. Do I need
That'll
a
miss.
prayer dice?
It will miss. A 13 will miss.
I'll give you 2 prayer die, so you could add 3 to that to get it to 16, which
16.
it hit in the past.
Okay.
A 16 will hit.
There you
Thanks
go.
for that. 13 plus 3 is 16 fire damage.
Nice.
16 fire damage. Well, magic damage. There's no fire or cold or it's just magic. But it could be fire. It's just
It's warm.
functionally it doesn't do anything.
Very warm. They're also chewing.
Yeah, what does it look like as you send your common sense?
This is the other one, right? Not the first one that they attacked.
Yeah, the first one seems to have gotten pulled down the tunnel
Yeah.
by the other one.
So as the fog dissipates, their common and sense are both coughing, looking around. They look over to Knots, who also is coughing, and then they eye each other, and they both look at the tunnel. Knots nods, and common and sense lead the charge into the tunnel after the other ones, and they just swarm around and are burning and eating the worm.
Nice.
At least that's what it looks like
yeah.
in Knots' head. To the rest of you, they just went off and did their own thing.
The
I love like the
word that
not
is
cam versus normal.
Right.
they can't see the fireflies, so it just feels like a bunch of little things like pecking at them. But you can like hear them like shifting in the tunnel angrily, and then you hear them make this like sound, and you hear another one of those sounds but deeper coming
Ice whales.
from deeper up.
I think these were
And
babies.
you feel it moving up. I'm spending a fear for that action, and that one will peek its head out of the tunnel and once again release a wave of cold across all of you. So give me an agility reaction roll.
16 and 19.
That's
22 on this one.
Yeah, 23 for me.
Just take the damage.
Yeah, it's gonna be 12 points of magic damage or 2 stress.
I'm going to spin an armor slot and take the damage.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take the damage and mark an HP because that's under my minor.
Yeah, Maggie is gonna mark Grace is gonna mark an armor and take a single HP. Great. But it's back to you guys. So you can hear that one like peeked its head out, released the cold, and you hear it shifting, and Triss and Astoy can see it shifting down the tunnel, but you can hear that deeper tone moving up the tunnel.
Okay.
So that cold cloud, when it dissipates, everyone notices that Kavoon is like batting at his face, like his eyes have like frozen shut from the cold, and he kind of like just stumbles off away from us for a moment.
Oh no.
He's real cold.
Kavoon is out of
Cold
the
buddy.
combat.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's a real cold buddy. I'm going to say that Grace is just gonna hold a bonded. Well, actually, yeah, no, she's gonna hold a chain lightning for when the next creature like appears into her visual.
Okay. So yeah, we can't see anything right now.
No, I mean, you and Astoy, since you guys are right at the mouth of the tunnel, can see like the tail end of the creature that has started moving away from you. So you can barely catch like a small piece of it, about like 20 feet down the tunnel, moving away from you.
Okay.
But that's all. Those are the only ones that can currently see something.
I'm gonna let it run and hold a spirit weapon for when the thing that seems to be coming closer gets within close range.
Yeah, I'll hold an attack if you see the big one to take it out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna hold my attack. Actually, no. I'm going to use Sparing Touch on myself to
Okay.
remove some stress.
The fireflies are gonna totally keep eating that one.
Sure. Give me
That's
an
a
attack roll.
critical.
Yeah.
Nice.
Double 60. That
damage.
is. We got 16. No, sorry. Yes, 16 plus 3 is 19 plus. Six, 25.
25 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a screech of pain, but you can, Astoy and Triss can still see like the tail bit moving away. I think this will be a good place to pause as Lauren has to leave us, unfortunately, for con stuff. So
Not even con stuff. It's just
well, sorry, cosplay stuff.
yeah.
Good reasons. Awesome.
So we'll be back to see what happens to the rest of this group
That's right.
after a short break.
When Grace is going to start rolling crits.
Yeah.
Grace
All right.
is not looking too great right now, guys.
Okay.
Good to know.
I mean, she's about half full on both things, but if she this chain lightning costs 2 stress to use, so she's gonna be pretty close to full up on stress.
All right, we'll be right back.
Hello.
Hello.
I wasn't totally just looking at abilities and trying to figure things out as I run another player character for this game. Yeah. So currently we have a few people standing outside of a tunnel that is making a very low moaning, groaning noise as a larger worm is heading up the tunnel in
I
their
appreciate it's just the ice
direction.
settling.
And a few other people have readied actions. Knott's got an last-ditch effort of fireflies biting at the retreating smaller worm. It was 15 feet long. There was a smaller worm? Sure.
Maybe we should run and take our chances of the storm.
No.
Maybe I should run and take my chance of the storm.
As you say that, the large worm that is 10 feet in diameter, maybe more, bursts up through the tunnel. As it comes into view, everybody that was holding attack can release it. I will be doing both Grace and Triss's attacks.
Will now.
So if we hit the worms before, we have disadvantage, correct?
If you're very close.
Yes. So you have disadvantage and Triss has disadvantage.
Okay. We'll also have
right.
advantage, so that negates that, right?
In Daggerheart, currently, it does not. You would roll 1d6 that adds and 1d6 that subtracts.
Okay.
It got 20 to hit.
Wow. Well, yeah, one second. Why do you have advantage? Sorry, just...
The woolly spider has advantage on attacks.
Okay.
Take advantage on attack, climb, and sneak.
Okay. And... go ahead, Nix. What did you roll?
20 to hit
With hope or fear?
with hope.
Hits, and you can take that hope. And roll that damage.
29 points of damage, and I'm going to spend a stress to. Well, no, there's not. Is there, the other one is probably out of range.
The other one, you cannot see.
Yeah, okay, so just the first one. I won't spend the stress, and so 29 points of damage. Damages, magical damage.
Great. What did you roll? Story.
18 with fear. I'm also spending 3 hope to raise my thresholds.
Sure. Unfortunately, an 18 misses.
Okay.
And since you,
So that'll give me a hope.
I will use a prayer die to add 2.
okay, but you did roll with fear, so you will lose a hope.
Okay.
It's a passive ability that this big guy has. They're
Gotcha.
terrifying. So when you roll with fear, you lose hope.
Gotcha. Okay.
But with the 2 from the paradise, that will hit.
Okay. So that'll be 19 points of physical, and he'll be envenomated.
Okay.
And then I'll remove that hope.
Great. And then, unfortunately, when Triss goes to strike, it just clanks off of the ice-like carapace that surrounds the creature. But, however, Grace releases her chain lightning. So, reaction roll. Fails. So they will take 2d8 plus 4, and you can barely see it through the ice, but you notice the lightning arc off of the back end of the creature that goes down through the ice into the smaller creature.
Cool.
Because if it hits somebody within close range and they fail, then it chains off of 2 other adversaries that are within close range of that adversary. So it can just continue all the way across the battlefield if you have that many enemies.
Nice.
Way across the whole universe.
A whole universe. Unfortunately, I rolled very bad on its damage. That's 7. Okay, and then I'll roll again for the baby. And then I rolled almost max for the baby. Yeah.
Poor baby.
She doesn't know it, but she totally fried the baby in the tunnel.
Of course. She
we
does
did
so
roll-
much better when you're running her.
Yeah, we did have some misses and rolls with fear.
Yep.
So it is back to me, and they just got struck for quite a bit of damage as you guys held all that, and it just gives this earth-crushing roar, and you can feel the ice cracking overhead as I spend a fear. And I need everyone to give me an instinct reaction roll.
Okay. It'll also take 6 points of damage.
Uh-huh.
$19 for Nyx.
22.
Okay.
I also got a 22, but it's because I rolled 2 11s.
Nice.
Crit.
If only we could crit.
I know, right? And it's funny because Carly during the break was even saying how we roll more crits during combat than not. Or no,
Okay.
you're saying hope.
So
something.
both Triss and Grace fail. So they become buried within the shards of ice that fall from the ceiling. And that gives me some additional actions I can take because they failed. The rest of you managed to dive out of the way as
Gotcha.
the ceiling shatters. The DC was 18, so the rest of you managed to save. As the ceiling shatters down, and then it moves forward to basically just kind of crush down on the vulnerable Triss that is right in front of him.
That'd be another 6 points of damage. I can't roll above a 1.
Yeah. As it continues to take that envenom as it makes its actions. Let me check the wording on your envenomed. Yeah. I will spend a fear as it shakes it off after a few actions. I'll spend a fear for that, but it did take those 2 instances of it. Sorry, I'm rolling with advantage. That's going to hit. And that's going to be 15. 33 points of physical damage to Triss as it slams down on her. She reduces that by 10 to 23. And then it's halved to 12, which is her minor. So she'll take a hit point. As I actually, and she will take a stress from that as well. Okay. With that, the creature will then move on to the spider that's in front of him, and try to attack the spider.
Okay.
That's gonna miss because that was a natural 2. I don't think a 9 will hit.
Nah.
And it'll use its last action. That'll be a 22.
That would hit.
For she's gonna Triss is gonna spend a stress to do I am your shield. It's 26 points of damage. I am your shield reduces it by 3, which is 23, reduced by 10, which is 13, reduced by half is 7. An armor slot is nothing. As Trish steps in front of the pounding large ice worm that is standing in front of you. But that is on you guys.
I'm
It
going
came in
to
and shattered the ceiling and just crushed Triss. Yep, just slamming its body on Triss.
It's playing whack-a-mole.
It is.
I reach into my pack looking for something. I pull out an old poppy seed muffin that I had forgotten to finish eating.
Mm-hmm.
And my eyes light up, and I'm going to throw it into the middle of the group. As I do, the seeds on it begin to sprout, and little flowers grow out and touch everyone. Everyone gets 2 hit points, except for the worm. The worm can't have that. Sorry to jump on the top of the initiative there. I just want to do it before we rolled fear in.
No,
That is
I want to do an action before any rolling happens as well.
Well, I mean, same. So was Grace. Grace was going to play a relaxing song to heal everyone a hit
Nice.
point. So everybody could take a hit point as well.
Nice.
And I'm gonna spend 3 hope to get back a hope die, or I mean a prayer die. And then I'm gonna attack it.
Go for it.
Yeah. How about a 22 to hit.
Hits
Nice.
Okay.
with hope or fear.
With hope.
Take that hope.
Oh boy. That was a really good roll. 34 points of magical damage.
Nice.
2
Okay.
zeros and an 8.
Yeah, it's looking angry, but it's still up.
All right. I'll go ahead and try to bite it, I guess.
Go for it. Remember, you have disadvantage.
Actually, Jason, if you could not try, you just do, that'd be great.
17. That's going to miss.
You didn't believe it. That's why you failed.
Yep.
Is it
My
with
advan-
hope or fear?
It is with hope.
Okay, so you can take the hope.
Yeah. 13 is not enough.
No, it is not, unfortunately. As you go to bite at it, it just slams into you, and I believe a 23 will hit.
23 definitely hits.
32 points of physical damage.
Ouch.
As it slams into you, and then you can hear the crinkling of the ice carapace as a wave of frost and smoky cloud rolls out across all of you. So I need a agility reaction roll from everyone.
Well, also, I'm going to spend 2 armor slots to drop that to severe.
Sure.
Rolled really
Agility
poorly.
reaction rolls.
16.
The DC is 19.
Had a feeling this one was going to be a little higher.
Yeah.
Fizzled.
I failed 18.
I got like a 5.
Ugh.
Triss passed. Grace failed. And so it's going to be... That's 18 points of magic damage to everyone.
All right, I'm going to spend 3 armor.
Okay.
Actually, no, I only need to spend 2 because my thresholds are 3 higher.
Yeah. Triss is going to spend 1 armor slot to make it minor. And then Grace is going to spend an armor slot and take the hit points so that she doesn't take the stress. All righty, but that is back to you guys. I will say Grace will look to, let's say, Knots, and say, you want to do a tag team roll?
Heck yeah, I want to do tag team roll. Welcome back, Ryan.
Can you tell me what I missed? What do I need to take?
You died. Everybody died.
No
Oh.
doubt.
Yeah, it was,
18.
18 points of magic damage. And then just as a reminder, if you don't mark an armor slot, you take a stress.
I'll take a point and an armor slot.
Okay. So Grace is going to spend 3 hope and initiate a tag team roll with Knots. She's gonna spin up her staff and send it glowing. What are you using for this tag team roll, Knots?
I mean, Grace and I have our typical, the one that we've been building since all of this started. So the fireflies come whizzing back around the
And she sends out the snakes from her staff.
nice, and it like they spin around and empower it.
Great. So we'll both roll and choose which roll we want to use.
Oh, I thought that was a crit for a moment, but instead it's really crappy and not a crit. 17.
Yeah, that's better than what she rolled. It's still not enough to hit. However, Triss is going to use her last paradise to bump it up to be enough.
Nice.
So it will hit. Was that with hope or fear?
That was with fear.
Okay. So roll your damage, and I will roll hers, and then we will add it together.
And that was a terrible damage roll. 8.
17 plus 8 is 25. Okay. Yeah, as the glowing firefly snakes crash into the giant ice worm, unfortunately it's not quite enough to take care of it as it screeches and roars in pain and makes a last-ditch effort to once again bring the ceiling crumbling down on everyone. So I need you guys all to make an instinct reaction roll, please.
What the fudge? Oh no.
I failed. 16.
Okay.
Yeah. Failed.
5. Oh no, wait.
That's a fail.
6.
Both Grace and Triss fail, and Nyx, what did you get?
Not like 10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay, then yes, all of you fail as the ceiling comes crashing down in shards and become buried in like shards of ice.
Ah, crap.
I will say that you guys all take not very much damage, but you are all buried. All of you are. So you guys take 3 points of physical damage, which is nothing to Triss.
Yeah, I'll take an armor slot just to negate it.
Same here. And what does the buried condition give us?
Oh, you're vulnerable until the next time you act.
Gotcha.
So it's basically, but essentially what happens is this creature doesn't venture further to attack its prone prey, which is what this is normally for. Instead, it buries all of you and uses it as an opportunity to skirt away. But yeah, the normal thing is, oh, avalanche. Now you're all vulnerable, and I'm just gonna go smack, 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 smack at advantage.
Gotcha.
Would I be able to use my battle strategist on this? Or not strategist, the...
Not unfortunately, since you just got buried by the
Okay.
ice. And since it's not attacking you guys while prone, it is essentially using this as the opportunity to move away quickly.
Okay.
By the time you guys all get yourselves out of the now not smooth chamber, although you still have some ice overhead, it didn't break all the way through to the glacier. But it's no longer a smooth floor as you guys all look around each other at the devastation wrought by these poor ice rims.
Nyx is the champion of a vengeful god, and so he's really wondering if he should take the slide down and chase the thing down. And he begins to move that way to do that, and looks.
I think Triss like catches you by the collar and just
Yeah, I
shakes
think
her
he
head.
would stop, like even before, like as she reaches out and like shake his head and kind of then go to help the people that are down.
I don't know about you, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe Nyx has it right. We should go take care of this thing and have dinner set for like the next weekend or two.
The spider just kind of clacks its
I'm like
mouth
swaying on
and
my feet.
just like,
Yeah, exactly what you said.
and then goes to the cave and starts trying to put up webs over the entrance.
Oh, we're not going to be able to get through those.
Yeah, give me a finesse roll.
Okay.
Just to see how well you spread your webbing.
Well,
If
it's
you
with hope
fall
at
down,
least.
and die.
12 with hope.
Okay. I mean, you have enough time. This is just like a general, you know.
Yeah.
That you can put a good several layers of webbing over the entrance to this tunnel. As you guys all look at each other and realize that your long rest got interrupted and you already spent your free long rest time working on projects.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm sure you'll
Yeah.
tell us.
Projects.
What it means is that you guys can settle down to complete your long rest, but since you already chose your long rest actions, you cannot re-choose them
gotcha.
to
Yeah.
clear stress or
Totally.
heal yourself or fix your armor.
No, mine was hit points and stress.
I am going to, before finishing the long rest, I will use my sparing touch on myself to clear 2 stress.
Yeah. Anybody looking extremely hurt?
Let me see. Grace has 2 hit points marked. Triss has. Since I can't change their character sheet, I have to do the math from what I've written down.
Right.
So it just takes me a second. Triss has 1 hit point marked as far as hit points go. Triss is almost full on stress. Only has one stress slot left, and Grace also only has 1 stress slot left.
When you say has 1 stress slot left, that means they're like at like 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7 or something like that.
5 out of 6 for Grace and 7 out of 8 for Triss.
Same thing with hit point. Okay, I'm not going to use my sparing touch on me. I'm going to use it on Chris.
Okay.
You can either clear 2 hit points or 2 stress.
Well, I think she's gonna clear 2 stress.
Since I was clearing hit points and stress, I'll go ahead and spend 3 hope to heal Grace a D4 with regeneration.
Sure, roll that. Let me know what it.
I'm sure it'll be a 1 based on how I roll my D4s. Oh no, it's actually a 2 this time.
Great.
I wander over and pop open a little vial and pour the liquid into Kavoon's eyes. He's like over there still trying to rub them clear and just kind of massage them in.
Yeah.
And reduce 3 stress.
Great. I will say, for a stoy, since your downtime actions were hit points and stress, is that what you chose? Then you can clear those again because that was part of your long rest. You made those choices, so you can reset those since this happened about halfway into your long rest. Same for Grace. One of the options she chose was stress, so she will de-stress back to 0.
You guys may be less stressed, but we have really built a lot of role playing. So, neener.
Neener.
Well,
Do you think it's gonna come back here, or should we go back up and like camp in the tunnel? Well, I guess it could probably just burrow through that, huh?
I don't know that moving away, like moving towards unknown dangers is worse in my mind than staying here where there's a known danger that ran away from us.
the spider goes and crawls up in his web and just goes to rest.
Yeah, it did run away, so this is probably one of the better places to be for the immediate future. Says Triss.
Common sense. You two are on guard.
And my
I mean, that's
fireflies
good,
just
'cause
kind
I'm
of
pretty
hover
sure
around.
It's your watch
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, it's Knots' turn.
Nuts.
That's right. I've got this direction. Common and sense have that direction.
Well, at least common and sense know what they're doing.
Good
Yeah,
night.
they do.
Yeah. Yeah, easy enough. Knots gets through his watch. So does Stoy with no issues. And you guys wake up to the lightning.
1 sec.
Yeah.
During my watch, as things are semi-calm, I'm going to go lay a bit of webbing over Knots very carefully.
Okay.
Like he's getting...
Give me a finesse roll.
Like she's getting, not cocooned, but maybe wakes up and be a little scared that she's being cocooned.
Or he grabs it like a blanket, pulls it over.
Not great. 17 with fear.
Okay. I will take that fear. You do manage to get them fairly cocooned, but then they shift when you're like almost done with the process, acting like it's the blanket, and you wake up, your hand, because you went to grab the blanket on you, and now your hands are just stuck in something. You thought it was a blanket, but now your hands are just sticky.
So I rolled dice thinking you were going to have me like roll the notice.
Well, you were
comparatively.
sleeping, so I set a DC.
It was it was a crit. So I just wasted a crit.
I will say you can clear a stress because this is why you don't roll unless I ask
Right?
you to.
Right? No, totally. I was just like, yeah. Oh.
You don't
No,
get
no,
a hope, but I
no,
will
no,
allow you to
I'm-
clear a stress.
I was preemptively rolling. Yeah, I'll get.
If
a
you
little
were
freaked out.
awake, you would have been rolling, but you were
Right.
asleep, so it was just a DC that I set.
I get a little freaked out until like I see what it is, and then I just
You mean that
glare.
it's coming out of a spider's butt?
Right. Just that, I did see Estoy as the spider, and so once I realized it's webbing, I just kind of like glare at Estoy. And I go to do the like I'm watching you thing, but my hands are all stuck together, so I'm just like, and I just
If the spider could laugh, it would look like it's laughing. Like the mandibles are just kind of
Right.
like chuckling together.
Chittering.
Yeah.
This is really uncomfortable that a story spends so much time looking like animals. Like, Nyx understands the utility, but like next time a story is not an animal, Nyx is gonna ask why.
But anyway, so that was happening during the night. You could totally ask that in the morning.
Sits bolt upright at 3 a.m. Wait, what is going on?
Yeah, you guys pass the rest of the night unbothered and could wake up in the morning. But the big thing to note is that because of this fight with the ice worms and all of the stuff that happened underground, you guys all had to level up.
Woohoo.
So that's what we're just gonna do with the last bit of the session.
Exciting.
Maybe a little bit of asking why animals all the time, but otherwise, mostly we're gonna work on leveling up your characters.
Yeah, what do you call a fungrel who is a furry?
Fergrel,
Furgirl? Yeah.
maybe. I don't know.
A plant who just really wants to be an animal.
I mean, what's
Just really
fuzzy
wants to be an
mold
animal.
called? Like
Penicillin?
The
Mold. Uh-huh. Level up, you say?
Indeed, yes. You guys are all going to level 6.
It's been a while. I need to remember how to level up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys will get to make a couple of choices and choose a new domain card. And become new, better versions of yourselves.
Is it under character builder?
Yeah, you go back into the character
Perfect.
builder and then you change your level to level 6 and then go down to the level 6 drop down menu and make your choices. If you don't change your level, you can still view the level 6 options, but it won't let you select anything. So you have to change your level at the top.
By the way, we use debbieplane.com for this because it's so convenient.
It's very convenient. The only thing I wish they had is like in D&D Beyond, if you're the GM, you can go in and make changes into character sheets that are in your campaign.
Right.
As the GM. Other players can't, but the GM can. But Debbieplane does not have that functionality. So I have to write down when I'm tracking for other people. I can't just like put it on their character sheet. I'm not allowed to change their character sheet. That makes me sad. Anyways, that's just me.
I think I know what I'm going to take.
What are you thinking?
For me, I am looking at increasing my agility and intuition and increasing my evasion by 1. And then I'm
Okay.
looking at recovery for a domain card, which lets me take a long rest ability anytime we take a short rest, if I have that card.
Nice.
That is busted.
It's only for 1, and then I can spend hope to let someone else also do that.
I mean, not as busted as if you're an elf and you just get to take 3 actions on every downtime. Elves, everyone. Still rocking that trance.
I know what Carly's thinking. Great, he has more evasion.
Right?
No, I mean, if you want to go into your evasion, that's fine. There's plenty of monsters and things that do reaction stuff.
Yep.
That I can truly work around if I need to.
So I feel like there's, at least on my end, I'm going to be reading because there's a lot of options. And
Oh, for sure. There's a
therefore,
lot. There's
I'm
quite a
assuming
lot.
other people are also going to be reading a bunch of stuff. And maybe rather than streaming for half an hour of us reading, we should call it here. And we can talk about it like next time or reveal what the new things are in gameplay. But before we do that, tomorrow on the channel at 1 p.m. Eastern, we are premiering a D&D one-shot of the Festive 3. I'm like, the Dead 3, but that's what they're called normally. A one-shot holiday horror D&D game that is written by Janelle Lawson, or Boss Jellybean, who's in our Wednesday for the Horde of the Dragon Queen game. Looking forward to that. And then next Saturday, come back for the finale of Hunter Bad Blood, because
I still haven't died yet. I don't
everyone
know
on the
why.
screen is still alive in the game. And I got to rectify that somehow. That's
Look, I built this character to be the first one to die.
So that should be the 14th of December at 8 p.m. And then we'll be here next Friday. I think we have some holiday and event scheduling kind of obviously that we're dancing around, trying to stream, even though we'll be down people, but hopefully we will have enough people to stream next week. But keep an eye out on the socials for that. Speaking of the socials, you can follow over on most of them at WH Pubs. And then make sure you follow all of these fine folks on their socials. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. We're going to raid out, so make sure you hang out for that. And we will see you next week.
And thanks again for running, Carly.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Carly. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for playing. It was fun.
We'll see you next time. Bye.